right. Well, let's have a little secret sauce here today. So, in the nearly 30 years of supporting small businesses, I've kind of learned that one quality truth sets the foundation for lasting success, and that's integrity. Right. So, this conversation actually was sparked by a gentleman named William. He was my Uber driver on a recent trip to the airport that I had about a month ago when I was heading out to Atlanta. And he had recently conquered his smoking habit. He was a 2-pack a day smoker for, I think, something like 20 years. And he did it through the power of positive talk and just kind of holding true to his integrity. And so I felt like this was a great place to start because I know that his story is a testament to the strength that we have when we're actually aligned with our actions and true values. So before I dig super deep, though, I do want to take a step back from it and figure out integrity. It actually comes from the Latin word integratas. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but you get the point. And that word in Latin, it signifies wholeness and completeness. And the interesting part to me is it's also very closely related to the word integrate, which means to bring together, to unify into a whole. And so the common thread here for me was unity and completeness. So when we talk about integrity in our lives and businesses, we talk about this wholeness of character. It's the art of being true to your values and your principles, irrespective of the situation that you're in. Integrity is about your actions matching your words consistently and honestly. And it's the very fabric that weaves together what we say and what we do. Now, the benefits of this, though, and I think this is the interesting part for me. It's like, great, integrity sounds good in at face value, but what are the benefits of this for me? So it builds trust and it bolsters your reputation, right? Just in the external world. And when we see people that are aligning with the actions and with the words, they trust you. And we do business with people that we know, like, and trust. Trust is a currency. The second benefit, it simplifies life. It simplifies your business, right? Aligning actions and values, it eliminates friction. There's no charades needed. You don't need to put on an act. It's simple to do. It's simple to talk about, but it's not easy to implement. So it means doing the right thing, even when no one's watching, especially when no one's watching, because we look at integrity from the external. How do people look at me and do I have integrity? Do you guys think that I have integrity? That's the way we look at it. But the reality is, do I trust myself and believe that I have integrity? Then that makes life very simple. And the third benefit is it's the foundation of a sound internal barometer, as I was starting to talk about there. How do you see yourself? How do you gauge your actions? It all comes back to that inner sense of integrity. Do you trust yourself? Are your actions in harmony with your values? But I get it, right? It's not all smooth sailing. It's not just as easy as jumping on here and sharing this. Integrity, it demands some time. It demands some patience. It demands resilience. You're going to face challenges. You're going to have life that requires you to balance your interests and be accountable, not just to yourself, but to those around you. Yet the cool part about this is those aren't setbacks. They're just growth opportunities. So I wanted to leave you guys with some practical tips about how we might cultivate this idea of integrity into our daily lives and businesses. So step number one, you have to start out with just defining what your core values is. This is that compass that guides you. And without that, you're navigating blind. If you've already got them, great. If not, let's get clear on them. That's the first action step. Without that, nothing else will matter when it comes to this, right? So step two, though, once you have those core values, is to engage in regular self-reflection, right? And this is ultimately how you stay the course. It's about taking a moment to pause and assess and say, are my actions reflective of my values? And it's not an opportunity to say, oh gosh, Aaron, you're not doing a good job. It's just an opportunity to reflect and make adjustments. So that's all it is. The third step is to perform a value alignment. Right? And this sounds more complicated than it is. It's basically just to say, before you make any major decision, to just take a brief pause, like a nanosecond pause, and say, this isn't just about ticking boxes. Is this about being aligned with my values? Are you ensuring your choices are consistent with who you are and what your business stands for? Step number 4 is you have to foster transparency and communication, right? We have to have open, honest dialogue with your team, with your customers, with your internal voice, right? It's about being genuine and it's about serving, not just selling. It's not about how you get transparent communication is not how you get over on someone, right? It's about how do you have that relationship that aligns with your values. All right. Step number 5, implement accountability measures. How do you know, right, if you're measuring up against your values? Do you have a mechanism in place? Meaning, do you set a time with yourself? Maybe it's a monthly review. I personally do a monthly review to kind of look where I'm at. And part of that is to go through my values and say, how did I do this last month? Was I living in that, or do I need to make some changes, right? So rate yourself, be honest, and then seek to improve from there. Step 6 is to seek mentorship and coaching, right? The old adage of you can't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes you need that external perspective to spot when you're maybe missing something. So maybe it's time to reach out to a mentor or a coach or become part of a mastermind group to get that additional perspective. And then the final step, and possibly the most important step, is celebrate successes. When you, your team, somebody around you, when they nail it, celebrate it. Just reinforce those actions that embody your values, because when we celebrate, our brain's dopamine reward system kicks in and we want more of that. So we'll figure out a way to do more of that. So there you go. There's my secret sauce. Thank you for taking the time to taste some of that sauce today.